Welcome everyone. Nice to see you guys again. Welcome to... Nice to see you guys again. Oh, we got a little bit of feedback again. Give me 1 second. Sorry. It's testing. Is that working again? Great, no feedback. Sorry about that. Always technical difficulties. Hi, Mr. Squidworx, my hobby. Always my best and biggest supporter. I started doing this live painting show. Now this is my 4th week, so it's 4 weeks ago that I started this. Today, after the show, I should be having affiliate status as I've managed to reach my goal after the next hour. So thank you to everyone for all the support, the follows, the viewership, all the chat, everything. It's just been such a big help. I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude to all of you. So thank you so much. I'm a little bit flustered, as you may or may not be able to tell. I managed to make a little boo-boo and accidentally delete my entire overlay. So overlay is that background you see, the borders, all of that stuff. So I had less than a half an hour to recreate one. Wow. It's been stressful. I've been also trying to get together my playlist for you guys, and it's so stellar. I mean, if you love music, you're gonna love this playlist. It's all over the place. It's gonna bring you back in time. It's gonna just give you all the memories, and yeah. So I hope you guys like it. I put a lot of work into it, and whoo, here we are for the 4th painting with Rashelle Squidworx show. Again, welcome. And I'm just going to look into the chat and see who's here so far, because it seems like we've got quite a few people going on. So we've got here... We've got Rat-Faced Squirrel. Hi, girl. How are you doing? Thanks for showing up again. Love you. We've got Mr. Squidworx. And earlier, before we started, we had Antic, which is a friend of mine from Belgium that I've known for about 20 years now. It's pretty crazy. So thank you so much, Piotr, for joining in. Even though it was just for a little bit, unfortunately, it looks like I might have missed you, but it was good to see your face in the follow here. So thank you. Alrighty, so if you guys just bear with me 1 second here. Alrighty. Still always trying to configure things here and there. It's so much work. I don't know if everyone quite gets how much work this is, but I now have such an appreciation to other streamers after doing all of this. So anywho, we're here for painting, we're here for chatting, we're here for music, and let's go over what we've been doing for the last 3 weeks. I do custom matryoshka dolls, which are Russian nesting dolls. They're made out of wood. They pop open like this, and when I mean nesting, they literally nest inside each other. So this is a commissioned piece from the movie Yellowbeard from 1982. A lot of the cast is from Monty Python, so if you ever watched it, you'd recognize a lot of them. A little bit of a trigger warning because of how old the movie is and typical British old school humor. There is rape, so-called jokes. So there's that content warning with this movie if you ever decide to watch it. The cast is stellar. It's absolutely amazing cast. Yellowbeard himself is Graham Chapman from Monty Python, and I've managed to already do, as you can see over here, I've done him as Yellowbeard after he's already been released from prison after being there for 20 years, and this is while he was in prison. I will be probably working a little bit more on the background and maybe just a little bit of contour details, but this is mostly done. Into the second and third week, I worked on Madeline Kahn's character, which is Betty Beard. And we've got all kinds of detail going on in her corset, her hair, her bonnet. You can quite see there. It'll focus. It's kind of hard when you go too close. And then the last, on Sunday, we did a pop-up because I wasn't able to do the Thursday's show due to some personal problems. But anywho, we did Thursday pop-up, and we started with Lord Lamburn, which is Peter Cook. And we started with a really basic. As you can see, some of it's just really plain and basic. There's nothing going on, and we've been layering and layering and layering. So I managed to get some of the detail going on his face. So this is what we're going to continue doing today. This is what sometimes the quality I have to work with, which is just like really pixelated. I'm going to be doing sort of a mixture of that and this image over here. We're going to be using the detail in his coat from the other one. This one's really simplified, so I'm not a big fan of it. I like to do things that are really, really detailed and intricate, as you can kind of start to see a little bit in the detail here. So, alrighty. So just for the people that are joining in, oh, there's Antic. Hi, Geert. It's so good to see you, my friend from Belgium. Hello, hello, hello. I am trying to navigate the chat here and everything too, so bear with me. Hope you guys are also liking the tune so far. And don't forget, guys, this channel is basically run off of your generous tips. If you're able to, if you can afford it, you're amazing. Even if it's just $1. If you look in the chat over here, you can tip by following this information over here, which is basically going to my channel page, clicking on the About tab, and you'll see the first tab is tips. If you click there, you'll go to a nice fancy customized page that I did for you guys, where you can actually tip through PayPal, which is nice and easy, just a few clicks. Like I said, it could be $1, it could be $10, whatever you're feeling, whatever you can afford. Tips are not expected. They're just super, super appreciated, and you're amazing for being able to do that. And if you can't afford it, that's okay too. Just your follows, just the interaction in the chat is great. And just don't forget, guys, please do not mute this. If you mute this and walk away from it, the walking away is fine, but if you mute it, I don't get the viewership stats. So please don't mute it. Maybe just mute your computer itself, just not the actual Twitch channel. Thank you very, very much. Alrighty, so if you're just tuning in, welcome, and we're gonna get the painting started. So I'm gonna just probably work quite a bit on his hair to start, because we've got lots and lots of curls that are going on. As you can see, it's the old school British wig, that dirty, dusty wig kind of thing. So, yeah, let's get that going. Oh, and my little turkey, I forgot to mute my phone. Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty, guys. I am so sorry about any kind of delays or technical glitches. This is the thing, after after 4 weeks, there still could be problems. But I'm going along, I'm fixing it. Alright, and just before I start painting, I just want to say hi to the lurkers in the channel. Please do say hello in the chat. Any kind of interaction in the chat really does help. So I just want to say hi to another TV viewer, Antic79, Apple Pie Chart, Bam Glam, one of my besties in the whole world, Emily. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much. Last of the 195ers, hello. And Muldra, hello again. And Ratface Squirrel, hi guys. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course to my ever so supportive hubby, Mr. Squidworx. Love you guys so much. Oh, and a little hello to Darcy, Red Fireface. Hi. Welcome again. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, guys, let's get this going. So, I'm actually going to probably start right away with some black going on. I'm going to pick, I got these awesome, like tiny little like super fine brushes, great for detail. These brushes can be found on Amazon. They're actually for nail art. That's why they're so thin and they're awesome. And because of your generous tips from weeks before, I was able to buy another couple packs, so they can last for a little bit longer, which is great. They do tend to wear out quite quickly with use because they're so thin. So as I've mentioned in previous shows, I like to take only how much paint I really actually need out. I'm not a fan of people that just take a tube or something and just squirt it all over their palette and waste, because especially when you're using acrylics, acrylics dry super fast for those who are not familiar with painting. Oil paints are the ones that take forever to dry unless you put a drying accelerator in there. They're great for going back and forth to work on stuff in layers and not worry about it drying. But in this case, acrylics are my favorite for doing the nesting dolls. So, and just responding to MM Glam, my girl. I'm so glad you're listening while you work. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you. And got a little bit of chat going on amongst yourselves. That's awesome. I'm so glad, guys. And please let me know if the music is too quiet or if it's too loud, anything of the sort. I can just adjust that as we go. However, keep in mind sometimes some tracks are just generally recorded at a lower level, so they might sound a little different. Red Fae Fire, you can't hear any music. I will turn that up. I'm so sorry. That sucks. Let me know if you can hear it now. Hopefully you can hear that. All right. Ah, great. I'm glad you can hear it. So we're going to get some curls going on. So I'm actually looking back and forth between two different drawings, or sorry, two different photos. So my head will be flip-flopping back and forth. And of course, if you guys have any like questions at all, it doesn't matter what it's about. If I can answer it, I'm going to answer it. If I can't, that's what the Googletron's for. Alright, so we're just getting some kind of like swirly curls going on. This is kind of like really basic, and then I'm going to layer it over with different kind of highlights of grays and whites and so on, and darker blacks. Yes, there are darker blacks than other. And alrighty, I'm just checking out back and forth as well in the chat to see what you guys are up to. I'm glad you guys are able to hear the tunes now. If you haven't had a chance to catch my other shows, or just caught bits and pieces of them, if you go to do a search for Squidworx Media on YouTube, you can see my previous shows. They're all uploaded, the previous recordings, and you can watch the whole thing in its entirety. And here are the different playlists that I've been making. I'm trying to make it so I don't play the same song twice. It's very, very difficult so far, but I've got a lot of tunes, which helps. But you can watch it at whatever speed you want at that point, and just don't forget to click the subscribe button so you can get updates of every time I upload a new show. Hi Liz! Everyone say hi to Lizdom! Liz is an incredible artist as well, and she does also on Thursdays a show at 8 o'clock called Planet Lizdom, and you can watch it for the whole hour, interact through the comments. It's on YouTube and on Facebook Live. She's so awesome. She's got such amazing guests. She's been doing this for over a year now. She's on to her second season, and if we take a little moment, we'll pause it for a second, we're gonna just show you a little promo for Liz.
Live every Thursday at 8 p.m. EDT. Only on YouTube. Tune in, turn on and take part. Because you never know just who is going to land. Right here on Planet Lizdom. Second season starts January 6, 2022. See you there.
There you go. Check it out. Check out Liz. She's awesome. Check out her show tonight. Check out her show every Thursday night. And she's been advertising as well for the Something Strange show that's happening, I believe, in May, if I'm correct. Liz, you can probably plug some info over there. But definitely go check it out. And let me just throw you guys a little info there as well. There you go. And yeah, Liz, thank you so much for supporting me. Love you so much. Mwah. Back to the tune. Almost forgot for a second. There you go. Something Strange. March 20th. The tickets are on Eventbrite. And her lovely partner, Chris Mysterion. He is also hosting, and he's been doing this for a long while. Awesome illusionist and mind reader. So definitely check that out. It should be a really fun show, guys. Back to painting is what we're here for. Gotta support your friends. Gotta support other artists. It's so important. We're all struggling right now. COVID's been so tough. I mean, it's why I'm even here in the first place, because my primary business is custom tattooing, for those that don't know, and because of COVID, people getting sick, lockdowns, and so on, it's been really hard to keep the business truly going at its full capacity. I mean, because in all reality, despite tattoo shops being some of the cleanest places and most sterile places you can go to, we still have to follow the rules. We still have to be careful, and I could never imagine risking someone's safety and health just for a buck. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing art commissions, and I'm doing this Twitch stream so we can have another way to make a little bit more money, right? And that's what I was talking about, the different levels in songs sometimes when one gets really, really loud out of nowhere. Sorry about that. Oh, Liz, I'm so glad you love watching me paint. I would love to watch you paint. We gotta maybe somehow try and do some kind of crossover one day. That would be so awesome. I would love that. Alright, so it's actually pretty simple sometimes to get some depth and detail going on in hair. It's not as difficult as some may think. It just kind of, I guess, depends on the type of hair. Curls can be a little bit trickier, but you can see how it was really, really flat and basic before, and just with a bit of shadows that I put around closer to his face for the depth of his hair going in, like you can see over here on me. And then adding the curls as it goes down. But once I start adding lighter shades of gray, we're going to get even more depth. We're going to even get even more of the highlights going on, and you can really see the curl stick out the best. So that's what we've got so far. And for those just tuning in right now, let's see who's around. Welcome, Lainey. That's one of my big sisters. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Parrots Marco, that is my dad. Hi, Dad. And we've got the Great Goose of God. I think that's my nephew. Am I right? Please, Great Goose of God, can you confirm in the chat? I'm pretty sure that's my nephew. And, yeah, so back to the painting. Since I have black out already, I am going to just add a little bit of shadows under his coat, like his vest over here. Because, as I mentioned before, acrylics dry very quickly. I don't want to waste. I hate wasting. I don't waste anything. I don't like wasting food. I don't like wasting anything at all. It's so interesting sometimes how just a little bit of like a washed out black can add so much depth and really start to make things look more realistic. Sometimes it's kind of tricky with these nesting dolls. What you may not realize is often these come and there's maybe chips out of them, or they don't pop open easily. So I actually have to take a Dremel and I have to sand down the insides. I have to often smooth out the outsides, and the bottom sometimes have a little bump at the end, so it will wobble if it was standing, so I have to sand that down. There's so much to prepping these. It's also what adds into the price factor, like, of these. There's a lot more work than just seeing that it's just something painted. It's a lot. So every time there's a little bit of imperfections, it makes it harder to paint a smooth on the surface because it's not as smooth as you're expecting. Oh, Lainey, thanks for confirming. That's my nephew, but why won't he chat? Come in the chat. Oh, and while I am feeling a little parched, I figure I might as well have a little sip of my drink from one of my mugs that you can get at the squidworx.com/shop. And we've got, whatever you can see there, this is one of my paintings from back, I think it was like 2010 or something like that. It's of Calculon done in the style of Andy Warhol. And you can also get my painting of David from the Lost Boys as well on a mug at this shop. So check it out, and cheers. Now, as Antic is mentioning, Futurama's coming back in the chat. I am going to talk about this a little bit. This is a little controversial for some, and for hardcore die-hard fans like me, who literally have Leela and Bender and Fried tattooed on them, we're not so fond of this comeback. We weren't so fond of the last comeback. We weren't so fond of all of the movies except for one of them. Don't revive something that was literally made to have an ending. If it's been ended and it's been completed, do not try to revive something, because then the storyline makes no sense. Do not try to revive Futurama when John DiMaggio, Bender himself, does not want to be a part of this because he finds that their pay is unfair. They're not treated the way they should be as these actors that have put everything for like the last 20 years into it, into these characters. And for someone like Bender, John DiMaggio, to not be a part of this, why would you support them? Why would you watch this? It's without Bender, it's nothing. So in the chat, I'm kind of curious to see your thoughts. So please tell me if you're into Futurama, how you feel about this. Are you planning on watching it? I'm not. But to see, also show you how much of a diehard fan as well, I put together a little bit of a quick slideshow of 2 different art shows that I did with that were specifically just Futurama fan art paintings. When I started, I think the first one was in like 2008 or 2010, something like that. And then again, I believe I had one that might have been like 2015. Honestly, I can't totally remember. I'm really sorry. It's been a long time. My brain's a little fuzzy as I'm getting older. But I've done a lot of different paintings, and I've sold almost every single one of them. The only 2 that I think 3 that I actually decided to keep were my favorite ones. One was the Mona Lila, the 5 o'clock Bender, the 5 o'clock Rust Bender, and the Hedonism Bot one. So enjoy the slideshow. These are old paintings that I did and sold. So, hope you guys enjoyed those paintings. Sorry for the not so great quality. They were done in screenshots because I just had to put together a lot in no time this week. So, hopefully I'll be able to get a clearer shot. Or if you actually just go to the gallery at squidworxmedia.com, you can see them all in the glory there. And just responding to some chat. We have a first time in the chat. We have Day Drizane. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure by your name who that is. So in the chat, please let me know who you are. But hello, and thank you so much for joining us. Antic, you're right. I do believe it's great to have the younger viewers get a chance to be exposed to the OG episodes of Futurama. They're the best. Seasons 1 to 5 is absolutely phenomenal. It has my heart. I love it so much. Ratface Squirrel, yes, OG episodes are the best, as I just said. They're so great. And last of the 195ers, I'm glad you agree with me. I'm not really tempted to see the new stuff either. I just found the other ones were such a train wreck, the last revival, so it just breaks my heart. Oh! Hi, Tara. I'm so glad you figured out how to get in there. Maybe you got your old account or you did a new one. Either way, thank you so much for joining in. And Antic, yes, I did. I was prepared with a slideshow. And, oh, I got a new follower, Auntie Bonnie, and I'm pretty sure that's my friend Bonnie that I haven't seen in a really long time, and I miss her. I hope she's great. I hope she's in the chat. And Deja Zane, Tara, thank you so much for following. Isn't this fun, this little new pop-up thing that shows up anytime someone's following? And as well, if you guys want to have your name in the little left-hand corner box that says new donation, please donate, please tip, please, if you can't afford it. If you can't, that's okay too. Your support just by being here is totally enough and so, so appreciated. So thank you guys. Back to painting. So, as I mentioned, as I was last painting this, I like to water down the blacks quite a lot. That gives me sort of the capability to layer my shadows. If you go in real heavy on the black, it's just, you messed up. Because if you mess up, it's impossible to get over black. It's not quite impossible, it's just you'll get chunky layers and things won't look smooth. You're better off building. In the chat, guys, if you have any questions, let it be about art, the music I'm playing, whatever, I don't know. If there's something I can answer and you guys are curious to know, I will try to answer for you. Mr. Squidworx, you might be the only one rapping along, but that's okay. It's one of the reasons why I love you. Oh, welcome, Steph! Steph, also known as Step. And then we will share this little nickname of one of my besties. She was getting her dog tag made, and she misspelled her own name as Stephanie without the H, because she's pretty and I love her, so she's now called Step. Welcome, Step. I love you. I called you Steph by your handle, and then I said to everybody why I call you Step. It would be really, really weird if I did call her Steph, because I don't call her that anymore. Yes, this is Lisa Loeb. I love a good 90s cheesy tune. It brings back all the feels. Don't you? I wish I could hear my hubby singing along to Lisa Loeb right now. Oh, please take videos of you awkwardly dancing and singing in your office. I'd really appreciate that. I think everyone would. Note to self, don't place cup you're drinking next to your brush water. You might accidentally put your dirty brush in the cup. I luckily caught myself, but maybe I'll move it over slightly. I don't want to drink paint. Someone in the chat room I don't think I've seen before, maybe Kitten Rescue. I'm not sure who you are, but hello, thank you for joining us and welcome. Red Fire Faye, I actually do digital art as well. I have been working with a Wacom tablet for many years, however, not often. It's not my favorite, it's not my go-to. It does take me longer just because I don't have as much practice with it, but I have done some digital work here and there. Some of it is in my gallery at squidworx.com. But yes, I can. It kind of just depends on what. But I'm always someone that's up for something new and for a challenge, so if it's something you're interested in, like a commission or anything like that, we can always chat and figure out exactly what you want and what I'm actually capable of doing for you. M Bam Glam, you dipped your brush in your wine at a painting night years back. I am not surprised. I love you, girl, but I am not surprised. Swear there is no paint in this drink. in my Calculon mug that you can get at squidworx.com/shop. You can get one of your own. Cheers, guys. I mean, yeah, I guess it depends what kind of paint it is. If it's just acrylic paint, it's probably still drinkable. If it's oil paint, I probably won't want to drink it. Sorry. You guys crack me up in your chat here. Cheers to my sister, Lainey. Mwah. Oh, I just noticed there we've got a couple of tips that came in. Thank you so much, Philip Yu. That is so lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know why the donation bar on the bottom's not updating. I really got to figure that out. Something to do with the programs and stuff that I'm using. Sometimes it's just if you go directly through PayPal instead of going through the button on my page. I think that's maybe why it happens. But thank you so much for your tip. That's so awesome. And thank you so much to Lainey. You are nuts. Stop sending me tips. She's my sister. I'm allowed to tell her that. I really appreciate it. But, like, I love my family. They're so supportive of me. It's so weird. But it's weird to get tips from them. I don't know. But I love them. They're the best. They're my honest, like, my biggest supporters. And they're incredible. I love them. Damn, I'm lucky. That's a lie, Mr. Squidworx. You wouldn't give just the tip. Hi, Bay the Box. Welcome again. I'm so excited. This is like kind of like a celebration show. I'm realizing that within 20 minutes, I will have had the required hours, the required viewers, the required amount of chat flow, and everything going on in order for me to become affiliate status in Twitch, which means you guys can eventually subscribe, do the monthly subscriptions, which unlocks emotes. Emotes are the cute little sort of, as we know them before, as emojis. And if you click on the chat message where it says send message, you click on that little face there, it opens up a whole box of different emotes you can use. And you can use them when you don't have anything to say, but you just want to emote. And I will be making some custom ones for the channel. And those will be unlocked when you subscribe. Which, again, this isn't for this show. Hopefully next show, you'll be able to have the option to do a monthly subscription. It also means you skip ads, and there's all these other little perks and stuff, too. You can send bits. Bits are basically like little tips that show up in the chat. So I'm, like, super excited as I'm, like, shaking things around. I'm super excited that after this show, I'm going to have affiliate status in only 4 weeks. So I obviously couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has been the goal since I started, so I can actually have a little bit of income from this beyond just the tips. But just the tip. But the tips are the best. They're so appreciated. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing. And for those that I can't afford it, that's totally freaking cool. Like, you guys are here and supporting, and that alone does so much for me. And just as a reminder, another way that you can help is by going to my Instagram. In the chat, there's a link over there. You can also go to my Facebook. Please, those follows, they help. There's also updates from there. You can also see the art that I've been working on that's not necessarily shown here. So please follow. Yes, and blam! It is super wicked how, like, that built up for me. Like, it's just been really quick. It's been awesome because I have such freaking amazing friends and family and supporters and people that just want to tune in from other Twitch channels. I mean, thank you. Like, you guys are incredible. I feel super lucky. I feel Like, there's such great people out there. And thank you. The song that's playing right now is by an Aussie group called the Hilltop Hoods. When I used to be the head bartender of the Annex Rec Room back in 2007, these guys played a show there, a live show, and I got to stay at the side of the stage taking photos and stuff, and I was like in love with them. Like, I had so much fun because I already knew about them beforehand. I was exposed to their music back when, I think it was like 2004 or something like that, when I worked at Global Village Backpackers at the corner of King and Spadina that doesn't exist there anymore. But I was a bartender there, and I also worked at reception. And these Aussie guys loved Hilltop Hoods, so I got exposed to them, the music, and I absolutely loved it. So being able to see in Toronto these Aussie guys at the Annex Rec Room live, that was amazing. And then I also did shots with them later. They were so cool. They were just like really chill guys. So song is called the Nosebleed Section, which is to shout out to the people that, even if they're all the way at the cheapest seats, they're giving you a shout out for being a supporter. And this is the way I feel about you guys, that even if someone can't afford to tip or subscribe, even that support of you guys being here is my shout out to you. Thank you, and love you guys so much for it. So, mwah. Last of the 195ers is talking about the Annex Rec Room. You remember that place? That's awesome. I worked there for the first 2 years. I was the head bartender. And Caitlin and Spike from Degrassi were doing the Saturdays with one of the DJs, Sean. And Caitlin and Spike are actually friends of mine. I tattooed Spike several years back. And they're amazing girls. Like, they're so cool. I love them so much. That was a little blast from the past there. And to answer Mr. Squidworx' ridiculous question, if I worked at Blockbuster, yes, I used to work at Blockbuster. Now you gotta drink. It's a little drinking game thing. Every time I bring up I worked at Blockbuster in the 90s, you gotta take a drink. Well, he's actually starting to come along from where we started, and a lot of what changes the depth and layers, as I mentioned, is this watered down black shading. It really makes such a huge difference on top of the basic sort of flat layers that we had before. And if you don't remember how basic this was when we first started, you can go back to my YouTube channel. Just do a search for Squidworx Media, and you can see the last 3 shows he did. So you can see the progression of all the other nesting dolls we've been working on, including this one, and how basic they start and then how detailed they get, because I love my details. Yes, Liz. Lizdom was saying that she remembers when when Spike and Caitlin from Degrassi came to my art opening. It wasn't Caitlin, it was Spike, which is Amanda, and she lives in Parkdale, and that's where my show was at the time. So I'm not sure. I don't think she necessarily lives there now. Anyway, she was she came with a bunch of friends, and it was so nice. Oh, Camp donated! Thank you so much. I didn't even know it pops up like that on the screen. This overlay is awesome. Thank you so much. But yeah, my art opening that I had at the Grand Trunk. So the Grand Trunk, by the way, is one of the best places in Parkdale or in the city. I love it. It's a small bar that shows local art. They have awesome collection of drinks. The bartenders are all awesome and hot. And the owner, Allison, is such a hardworking, incredible human. She's been such a huge support to me and has hosted quite a lot of my art shows at the Grand Trunk. And the Queen's Emporium, which is just a few doors down, is her now second shop where she has all kinds of artisanal jarred things like canned foods, and she makes baked goods, even caters to vegans, like everything. So it's just unfortunately it's on the other end of the city. I have not gotten to check out the Queen's Emporium since it's actually opened, but I'm sure it's fantastic from all of the photos and posts I see. The Grand Trunk's also amazing, so if you want to go get a drink and hang out at a great place, please go there. They also have like a little games room in the back and stuff too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Parkdale's got some great places, but being in the East End, I miss some of those West End places. I used to be a West End girl. Lainey, I'm not sure if I heard what you mean by some shack place. Please elaborate. Mr. Squidworx, the tips are like the Price is Right. Each should be higher than the last. That's so great. I appreciate any tip. It could be $1. I don't care. All the tips are appreciated. They're awesome. So, oh, Lainey, Condom Shack. Yeah, I did work there. Back in '99. The owner was a dick. No pun intended. Can you guys still hear the tunes okay? Is the volume good? As I mentioned earlier, we get a little bit of like a fluctuation in sound like level sometimes, so I just want to make sure you guys can all hear that. And why don't we, because we haven't yet, why don't we have a little look at the 26 other sets of nesting dolls that I've worked on since 2019. And here we go.
Phenomena. 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 Phenomena.
There we go. Hope you guys like those. All kinds of sets. You can also see them and do a little zoom in on and see the actual details, since the photos don't really do the justice. But you can go to my Instagram, which is at Squidworx Media, or you can go to Facebook, which is also at Squidworx Media, and I'll put those in the chat for an easy follow link. And a little Facebook action there. And yeah, you can see all of the nesting dolls that I've done by, you know, doing the whole little finger zoom in thing, and check out the details there. And there's on Instagram and on Facebook, there's actually some videos too. So it's like me, you know, doing a little turnaround where you can actually see them as a whole. Turn that up a little bit. Hopefully you guys can hear that okay. Get back to some painting. We got lots of viewers going on today. This is awesome. It's been pretty consistent. I'm really, so grateful to you guys. I'm just gonna go over the list again and say hi to everyone. Of course, to my awesome hubby, Mr. Squidworx. Another TV viewer. Hello, Apple Pie Chart. Hi. Auntie Bonnie. Hello. Commander Root. Hello. Day Drizane. Hello. Bam Glem. Hiya. Cancer Sam. Oh, Cancer Sam. That's my uncle. Thank you so much for joining in. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kitten Rescue. Hi. Lainey MV. Hello. Last of the 195ers. Hi. Lizdom, hello. Muldra72, hi again. Ratface Squirrel, hi girl. Red Fire Faye, hello. Step, hi. The Great Goose of God, hello. And Bay the Box, hi. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are all so awesome. I hope you guys are enjoying so far. And for those who just tuned in, I am working on a nesting set from the 1982 movie called Yellowbeard. Many of the cast members are from Monty Python. If you don't know who Monty Python is, you're probably under the age of 25. Go look it up. They're funny. But you might not find it funny too because it's old school British humor and a lot of it can be kind of offensive. So if you do try to go look up Yellowbeard, keep in mind that there is a super big trigger warning of a couple of joke rape scenes, which obviously there is no joking about that. However, back in 1982 in British humor, there was a lot of that, unfortunately. So John Cleese from Monty Python, Graham Chapman, Eric Idle, they're all in this. And Eric Idle and John Cleese have basically said that that was in their top 6 worst movies ever made, in history. But they still had fun doing it. It is truly a terrible movie, but they have some funny moments. And I mean, I love Madeline Kahn, which is this character right here. She's Betty Beard. I love Madeline Kahn and everything. And, what can I say? She makes me happy. She's from Mixed Nuts, from Clue that you might remember. She's been in so many different amazing movies. And I love the cast of Monty Python. And a little fun fact that I've actually mentioned, I believe in my first show, about the main character. Graham Chapman actually was an alcoholic, severe alcoholic. A lot of the scenes he had trouble filming because he was always drunk, and especially as well in Monty Python. As you might have seen before, the Monty Python, the famous Dead Parrot sketch, John Cleese and Graham Chapman were writing the script, and originally I think it was supposed to be a toaster. I'm so sorry, I can't remember at the top of my head right now, but instead of a parrot it was supposed to be something else. And John Cleese was getting kind of annoyed with Graham Chapman because he was just drinking, smoking his pipe, and not really contributing much. And in the end of it all, Graham Chapman goes to John Cleese, how about we make it a parrot, a dead parrot? And that's his input. John Cleese is floored and goes, "Oh, that's fucking genius. Dead parrot it is." And it became probably one of their most popular sketches ever. It's absolutely so stupid. It's so ridiculous. It's so funny. If you haven't seen it, go look up, on YouTube or whatever, go look up Monty Python Dead Parrot sketch. And it's just ridiculous. I love it. And maybe in the chat, if you're a Monty Python fan, let me know what's your favorite skit, or do you have a favorite movie? Yeah. The Monty Python, the Holy Grail, to answer that question, is actually my favorite. Absolutely ridiculous, hilarious, so good. Oh, first time chat, and one of my great friends, one of my oldest friends, Tenebrae81 is my friend Joey. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad you were able to. And on second thought, let's not go to Camelot. 'Tis a silly place. Yes. We have a lot in common, you and I. And Elaney says, "'Tis but to scratch." Oh, there's gonna be so many good like quotes coming in, I can tell. Yeah. Monty Python, I love them so much. I actually have a plush toy of the Black Knight, where you can rip off his limbs and just like red fabric comes out. And then I also have a plush puppet of the rabbit with the sharp pointy teeth, and I love them. I've had it for so long. I have a DVD copy of Monty Python and the Holy Grail that actually has a script and a book in it, and then there's a cell from the movie in there too, so it's like a collector's edition. Oh yeah, I'm not much of a nerd. Alright, so I think I'm going to move on to giving a little bit of shadow on his hat and on the big plumage on his hat, the feathers. By the looks of it, I believe they're supposed to be ostrich feathers, so they flow quite a bit. There's a lot of layers to them. So I'm going to be using a very, very watered down black. And that way I could build, as I mentioned before. So far, I have pretty much only been using this watered down black for the entire thing that I've been working on for the last hour. Once you have your base colors down, you can really do a lot of building with the watered down black. But you really have to water it down. You can't just go heavy on the black because it's going to look too harsh. You won't get the same kind of natural shadow effects with that. And I will be going over the feathers with heavier white, so the white shows up over top of it. It will look softer, look more like feathers. And yes, you'll see that I often say, I'm going to work on this, and then I start working on something else because I think I'm probably have ADHD of painting skills. I go all over the place. And as you might see my head flipping back and forth, I am working off of two different images, not just what you see over here with this guy. I'm working off of my iPad. There's another image that's a better resolution, but it's really hard to actually get what I want out of just one image. Often with these older movies, they often tend to have a low resolution photo because it's from so long ago. So I have to work off of more than one image and sort of build them together. And that's one of the fun, tricky things about doing these nesting dolls, is that it's not always of images of something that I can get crazy high resolution and 1,000,000,001 photos of all the different angles. So I gotta get creative. And I guess that's the part of being an artist, is getting creative. Red Fire Faye, I can understand that. Yeah, I got out high school version of me definitely loved Monty Python way, way more than me now. I still have a super soft spot for most of the movies, Life of Brian and The Meaning of Life, The Holy Grail. I love those. I have them all on VHS and DVD, and those have a soft spot. I think the skits that they did from the show aren't always as funny to me now, but the movies still have a super soft spot for me. got a first time chat and viewer, Smithy fam, which is my friend Stacy I've known for like about 20 years or so, back from good old raver days. Yes, I was a little raver. Hi Stacy, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Steph, I'm so glad you're enjoying the tunes. I hope you're all enjoying the tunes. They really are all over the place because that's just my taste. I don't discriminate with music unless it's new country. No new country. Thanks, Stacy. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're loving the setup. It's been a lot of work. And for those who just recently tuned in, not from the beginning, just about a half an hour before the show started, I accidentally deleted the entire overlay that took me forever to work on. And for those that don't know what an overlay is, it is the whole like borders and everything, all of the little pop-ups, all of the layout, everything that you're seeing on your screen right now. I had in 20 minutes built a new one. I was so stressed and flustered when I first started this show because I had waited to I had the last minute to put together the end of my playlist for the music and this overlay. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you appreciate. So much work goes into this, especially when you're an idiot like me and you accidentally delete something. So and I am going to give you guys a little quick moment of the slideshow again because I know that there's some new people in the chat that have not seen it already. I'm going to show you guys again the slideshow.
Phenomena. 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 Phenomena.
Hope you guys like those. That's 26 of the Matryoshka nesting dolls that I've made since 2019. I first made 3 of them. It was a horror series of like the like classic horror villains. I did Star Trek Next Generation one, and I did Futurama because we'll get back into that again. So I did those ones, and I brought them to the Toronto Fan Expo. I had a booth before, this is pre-pandemic. I had a booth there in the Artist Alley. It was my first year. I finally got in. I was so excited, so happy. And then the pandemic happened for the next one, which totally sucked. But I sold the 3 sets at the Fan Expo totally unexpectedly. I had no idea that this would actually be any kind of hit. And from there, I started getting lots of commissions, and it just kept going. And it's kind of saved me throughout the pandemic, being able to do these when I can't tattoo, which was my primary source of income. So I just ended up really getting into this, really loving it. I'm glad that there's people out there that see like the art in it and want to collect these. So I have some friends, like I have one friend that actually bought 3 sets. They were all of the Transformer ones. Like, that was awesome. I mean, thank you guys, everyone that's ever bought anything from me. You help people like me that are artists be able to like do this do what we love and get paid for it. Like, that's every artist's dream, isn't it? Like, I remember being a kid and I was in elementary school, and they go around there in a circle and they ask, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the only thing I ever wanted to be was, like, I would say, like, Picasso or Dali, and I wanted to be a paid artist. I wanted to be able to make money off of what I love doing, and fuck, here I am. And I'm so glad you guys actually like watching me do this. So let's get back to some painting. I'm gonna, need some more black. It's too easy to let it dry out when you're using really thin layers. When you're thinning it out with water, everything dries really, really, really quickly. But that's why, as I mentioned earlier, I do not like wasting. I do not put out a lot of paint. I just do a little bit at a time, and if I need to add more, I add as I go along. Smithy fam, about the hilarious House of Frank, it's actually Frightenstein. For those that do remember the, like, Canadian TV show that was meant for children, but also so amazing for adults, the guy that owns the rights to that is Mitch Markowitz, sorry, and he is, if you remember, the sort of like tertiary character, super hippie. So Mitch Markowitz contacted me because I was in a Hilarious House of Frightenstein group on Facebook, and I posted them and people loved it and I had a lot of reactions. So he contacted me and he's like, so I own the rights. I own the rights to that. So if you want to continue making it, I ask for a 10% cut. And, but I can get you more business and blah, blah, blah. And, like, we can make more runs of it. And I'm like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I had a 2-hour conversation. Really interesting, nice guy to a certain point. But he's a business guy. And really what it boiled down to is that I'm like, how do you take 10% of barely anything, first of all? Second of all, I'm one person. These take like a minimum of a week to 2 weeks to make, depending on how many hours I put into them. You think I'm going to make this in bulk? Like, how does that work? So I pretty much was like forced to not be able to make another one again. But it's kind of cool at first to get, like, a little bit of a shout out from someone that's a part of the actual crew. He also wanted to, like, he's like, oh, if you do Fan Expo, I'd like to be a part of your booth, or blah, blah, blah. We can do cross promotion and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm just a tiny little, like, individual business owner. Like, I don't know how much promotion you think I can give you. Would have been kind of cool, but then the pandemic happened and it ruined everyone's lives. Snippy fam, I'm not sure if you can still watch it in Crave. Maybe, possibly, they might have added it not that long ago. I haven't checked, but I've already seen it so many times. So you can also just get them, like, on other places, like online. I think you might be able to find them on YouTube as well. Okay, I think I've got quite a lot of, like, shading done. I think I'm gonna to change it up a bit, move on to more white for the feathers. Actually, no, let's go back to the hair. So I'm gonna go onto a little bit of a or white mixed in with like one of the grays, or I guess I can mix it with the black, snake gray, whatever. First time chat viewer, Mache Valera. Am I saying that right? Wait, is that my mother-in-law? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Squidworx? Oh, it is! It's my mother-in-law! Hi, Martha! Thank you so much for joining in! Oh, I love you! Mwah! That's awesome! If I haven't said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I've got the best family. Such amazing supporters. Best family, best friends. You guys are all so awesome. You guys are so awesome. Oh my god. You guys like fill my heart. Oh, that's great. Also metallics. I have a metallic gold accents here, which I'm going to be using on the current one that I'm doing. I love these sets. These are all so great. And while I'm showing other things here, I almost forgot to show you guys the other sets. I start off with a pencil drawing. This is how it goes. This is, yes, as you may be able to hopefully tell, this is Cheech Marin. He is the character, one of the villains, El Segundo. And this is Tommy Chong. So yes, Cheech and Chong. And his name is, in this one, El Nebuloso. And they're both villains in there. And as I'm talking about Tommy Chong, little fun fact, back about 15 years ago, I had a house in Leslieville, and when I sold it to one of Tommy Chong's daughters. No, not Ray Dong. It was Precious Chong. So, a little fun fact there. And going on to one of the second smallest nesting dolls is Peter Boyle. He's the character Moon in Yellowbeard. Oops, I noticed that song did not work. Sorry about that. So Peter Boyle, you might recognize him from Young Frankenstein, or Everybody Loves Raymond. He's the father. And Marty Feldman, he's the character Gilbert. And sad fact, he died towards the ending in December of 1982 when they were filming this movie. And then we've got here Eric Idle from Monty Python. He's my favorite Monty Python guy. He's Commander Clement. And then we've got Martin Hewitt, which is the character of Dan. And fun little fact that I mentioned in one of the previous shows, Sting and, oh gosh, brain fart. But Sting definitely, and then there was another person that tried to audition for it. Because of Sting, they wanted an American to play that character, so that's why they said no to Sting. Can you imagine if Sting was in it? Like how weird that would have been, and kind of also really cool. Yeah, so back to painting here. I was grabbing the white. And don't forget, guys, if you haven't already, please do go to Instagram and follow me. Also on Facebook and follow me. And in the chat, you can check out the links there if you haven't already. And you can also go to YouTube. And there's my link for YouTube. So if you're not able to catch this entire show, don't worry. I record it and I upload it. And then you can watch it at your leisurely pleasure. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get those updates. Oh, I haven't listened to this song in a really long time. I love it. I don't know about you guys. Anyone have any questions at all? Be it about art, be it about anything I've done before, something you're interested in seeing me do here on the show? Please go into the chat and join in. Got quite a few of you guys here in the chat, or rather in the channel so far, and I'm so grateful to you guys for joining in. I have like pretty sure I've already, as of halfway through the show, reached affiliate status, which means you guys will be able to do monthly subscriptions that give you all these extra little perks and stuff like that. And I make a couple extra bucks, and we all have a good time. I'm so excited. Only in 4 weeks I got affiliate status, and it's taken a lot of work, but it's been worth it. And I can't do it without you guys, so thank you. Mr. Squidworx, to answer your question of what painting / artwork are you most proud of? The top of my head, I mean, there might have been something before that, but I think at the top of my head, the two things that come into mind, one was fairly recently, I had a friend commission me to do I think it was 40 by 60 on a wood panel, multimedia, mixed media sort of painting of a scene from The Neverending Story of Atreyu and Falkor. And there were so many different layers of so many different types of mediums involved. And by the time it was done, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I managed to get that done. And I made my friend very happy. And I took also I took a bit of how do you call those? Stop motion? Not quite a stop motion, but a sort of like a time lapse. Sorry, my brain fart. A time lapse video of me working on some of it, and plus all of the images, like the photos I took of the progression, and I posted it on Instagram. So please do go to Instagram if you want to check it out. It's Instagram.com/Squidworx Media, and that one was like pretty epic for me. And the next one I can think of was it's also on my Instagram or my Facebook. The mask I did of Frank from Donnie Darko. That took on and off 4 years to make, and when I finally sold it at one of the art shows at the Grand Trunk, it was so bittersweet. It was, at the time, the most I've sold for commission in a long time. So it felt great, but it also was so hard to part with that. And as an artist, if anybody knows the feeling of making something and then having to say goodbye, that was so difficult. So today I miss it so much. But you can see pictures of it on my Instagram. And sometimes I go and I look at the pictures and I'm just like, there, I miss you. Last of the 195ers. To answer your question, what's the most difficult piece I've done? Probably, again, top of my head, that mask of Frank. It was started off in so many different layers, and it kept breaking. It was a dollar store, like, scary bunny mask that I started with, and I had layers and layers of Sculptamold, which is like this. It's almost like a fluffy, weird, chunky cotton, and you mix it with water, and then it turns into like a paste. So there was started with that, and then there was paper mache, and then there was more of that, and then there was plaster. And so many times throughout the years, I could give up. Like, pieces would break off, it would be too heavy, I had to just fix and build and glue and just use layers of paint and varnish and so much going on that when I finally finished it and I finally got to mount it, it was actually mounted on one of the 3 wooden tiers that my wedding cake was on. And I stained that with a mahogany paint or stain, and it hangs up on a wall just like as if you had like a deer head or something like that. And the frustration of how many times it broke while I was making it probably made it one of the top most difficult pieces that I've ever made. I hope that answers your question. And Martha, I'm glad you like to see me doing the nesting dolls live. It's a bit of working between this and then talking and answering everybody's questions, of course, and so on. So I'm kind of like crazy multitasking like I do with most things in my life. I'm sorry I've upset some of you guys that I sold Frank, but sometimes you gotta pay the bills. I know, I'm upset too, don't remind me. That's the hard part sometimes of being an artist. You got the skills, you gotta pay the bills, and so on, so they say, and when you gotta pay the bills, you don't have a choice sometimes. You've gotta say bye to something you really, really love, and that took so much work and so much frustration, but like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Right, getting some, still fairly watered down, but a little bit of a more pure white, a little less of the gray going on. To answer Mr. Squidworx's question, if any of our children are around, he is referring to 2 rats, a parrot, 3 cats, and a dog. And they're all actually being really quiet. I don't really have the door totally closed, but it's a little bit closed. I do like to get visits from some of them, but no, I think they're all just chilling right now. Dre Jazane, you said I bet the person you sold it to loves it every day. I sure hope he does. I really, really hope he does. I'd be really, really sad if something happened to it. Or that if he doesn't appreciate how much work went into it. And I don't think I thanked Emily earlier. I'm so sorry. I can't remember if I thanked you for the lovely tip that you sent me. And if I did thank you, well, I'm thanking you again. Thank you. Alrighty. Can't believe it's already 6 o'clock. Only half an hour left. I mean, if you guys are all hanging around, it might go to 7, but time flies when you're having fun. Smithy fam, Stacy, enjoy your dinner. Bon appetit. And thank you so much for joining in. Love you too. Mwah. Welcome to my biggest sister, Jude. Thank you for joining in. I know it's difficult sometimes after work and everything. I appreciate every time someone joins in, even if it's just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is that you can do. Like, that, all of it helps. So, and it's just great to see that support and be able to have more people in the chat room talking and, you know, making this show what it is. And I can't do it without you guys. I know I keep saying that, but it's the truth. For those who were not around earlier, we had a little bit of a I had a little bit of a rant about the new Futurama series reboot. Won't go on my serious, huge, heavy rant again. No, I'm not excited for it being back. Just gonna give you the short gist of it all. If John DiMaggio, which is the voice of Bender, is not involved, there's no reason why it should be airing. It should not be airing as well because the show ended on the 5th season, tying everything together, and that is that. Don't keep bringing back what should be already done. I love this show, but I don't want to see it back. I don't. It's been done. So, show you guys my love of Futurama, which I was showing you guys earlier, one of my actual first art show was a Futurama fan art show, and I did I think I was like maybe like 10 paintings, 8 paintings, something like that. And I sold them almost all. 2 of them I kept because they were my favorites. It was the Bender 5 O'Clock Rust and the Mona Lila. And the second show I did, the only one I kept and didn't sell was actually two of them. One was Mom, and the other one was of Calculon. Sorry, not Calculon. Hedonism Bot. Sorry. So I'm going to just show you guys a quick little slideshow of right here of some of the paintings that I did. And as I was also showing you earlier, if you go to squidworxmedia.com/shop, you can order one of these Calculon a la Andy Warhol styles mugs and get it directly from me. I'll just ship it to you and you can enjoy one. And I also have the David painting from The Lost Boys as well as a mug that you can get. Here's the slideshow. To answer Mr. Squidworx's question, any art pieces on your bucket list that you want to do? So yeah, I actually have always, I have a little list on my phone here. I was thinking of doing these either as nesting dolls or just as another art show potentially now that things are starting to open up. Maybe I might go back to the Grand Trunk in Parkdale and have another art show. Who knows? We'll see. I would love to do... Okay, so if you guys don't already know, I am so nostalgic. I love everything 80s and 90s. A lot of my art is fan art. Actually, most of my art is based off of fan art from something that was from my childhood or my teenage years that I grew up with. So I would love to do something from a series from The Neverending Story. Actually... what I made this list is, it's actually a 80s fantasy fan art movies to paint. 80s, 90s. Neverending Story, Labyrinth, Return to Oz, which, I love so much. TikTok is my favorite. The Princess Bride, Legend, and Drop Dead Fred. So I have a long list of stuff I really want to do. It's just a matter of finding the time to do everything between tattooing, between the show, between commissions. But one of these days, if I have a little bit of free time, I really want to start getting back into just doing regular, like, the paintings that I did. I did a whole series of horror. It was the last art show. It was a whole horror series. I've also done a series of The Big Lebowski. I've done the series of The Shining, and you can see all of that art at squidworxmedia.com. In the gallery, you can also go to Instagram at Squidworx Media, Facebook at Squidworx Media. So I can put in the chat here also my... You can see there, that's my website, which is nice and simple, www.squidworx.com or squidworxmedia.com. Tenebrae, yes, Return to Oz is so beautiful. If you have not seen it, it's every 80s kid that's seen it, you know why we are twisted as we are because of that movie. There's like something so beautifully dark and messed up. The first like 20-minute scene or whatever it was in the mental institution, like that scared the shit out of me as a kid, but like I still like I loved it. I was so drawn to it. Alrighty. Ha! Yes, kinder trauma. That is exactly what that movie is. I think that's exactly it. Like, you know, there's this generation that came out, the sort of generation X or Zillennial or whatever the mix is, and we loved messed up, twisted, dark stuff, and that's why we are the way we are, and there's no shame to that. Alrighty, so we're coming along quite a bit of detail, despite all the talking and whatnot. We've got quite a lot still done today, considering this was a pretty, like, flat image before. Get a little bit more highlights in his hat.
Confidence is a preference for the habitual voyeur of what is known as. A morning suit can be avoided if you take a route straight
So,
through.
if you want to make like feathers look really like soft and fluffy, just as I was doing with the black, that watering down a color, it gives you sort of that thin layer, and you can build on it, and it makes it look like there's more flow to it. So you can get these like ostrich feather, the plumes, looking a little more realistic. And like it's actually flowing the way it does in the wind.
I get up when I want, except on Wednesdays when I get rudely awakened by the dustman. I put my trousers on, have a cup of tea, and I think about leaving the house. I feed the pigeons, I sometimes feed the sparrows too. It gives me a sense of enormous well-being. And then I'm happy for the rest of the day. Safe in the knowledge there will always be a bit of my heart devoted to it. So many people.
Alright, let's get some heavier white going. Oh, right, Red Fire Faye, yes, Sandman. Neil Gaiman, love him. There you can see the fluffy ostrich feather, his hat coming together.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Freeze in full effect. Ready, Ron? I'm ready. I'm ready, Slick. Are you? Girl, I must warn you. I sense something strange in my mind. Yo, situation is.
Glad you guys are enjoying the track. I always love this one. Little poison.
It's all so beautiful. Relationships they seem from the start. It's all so when love is not taken from the heart. Sing it out.
He's taking me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Out of my head, miss her, kiss her lover. Girl is poison. Now it's turned into karaoke, clearly. Excuse me. Mr. Squidworx Yes, we can change the lyrics with poison. Poison sauce. Alright. So it looks like we're about just over 15 minutes away from the show ending. I might go till 7 o'clock. So if you want to hang around and you're enjoying things, please do. I mean, let's go over the list again. Looks like there's actually a lot more viewers right now. That's so awesome. Let's go down the list. Another TV viewer. Apple Pie Chart, Auntie Bonnie, Commander Root, Deidre Zane, Elysian, Bam Glam, Judam, CaxPS06. I don't know who you are. If you're around and in the chat, please say hello. Kitten Rescue, Laney MV, the last of the 195ers. Lurks, I don't know who you are either. You're new. Please say hi in the chat. Machi Valera, Moldra72, Parrots Marco, Ratface Squirrel, Red Fire Faye, Step, Tenebrae, and the Great Goose of God, and Mr. Squidworx, of course. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining in. This is crazy. It's so cool. I love seeing you guys all in here. And of course, if you have a moment, if you have the funds, I can't do the show without the support because all of this shit costs money. Please go to my channel About section, click on there, and if you click on the tip section, I made this customized awesome little window here that you can go through PayPal and you can send me $1, $5, $10, whatever you can afford. All of it's super, super appreciated, and when you send a donation, that pops up on the screen and your name's all there, and it's like a good old, like, oh, look at me, I'm on the screen. It's so fun. And I'm also celebrating today a little cheers to everyone with my Calculon mug. You can get at the shop at squidworx.com. I have to do a little cheers to you guys because after today, I've reached, in just 4 weeks, affiliate status on Twitch, which means as of next show, you guys will be able to do monthly subscriptions to get all cool little extra perks and stuff like that. And I mean, I get a little more out of this too. So you get some, I get some, and thank you guys for being awesome and for being supportive to a small artist like me. Alright, let's get some little bit heavier white going on now. As I mentioned earlier, I'm building in layers. I like to work with thinned out paints because I can just, that's how you get this really detailed looks that look soft and they're not too harsh. That's sort of, I'm going for more of a, you know, little realism here. It reminds me actually, this building of paints. Back when I worked in, I think 2004, I worked at, some of you may remember, at King and Spadina on the corner, there was Global Village Backpackers. There's a backpackers hostel. I was a bartender there, I worked at front desk, and I also did a couple other things. They used my artistic abilities to their advantage. One being, I've decorated, I did all the custom decoration, from choosing out bed sheets to the murals that were on the wall in all of the private rooms. So I think there was like 6 or 7 of them, and I had designed them all. And another thing I used to do was I used to do decorations like window painting. So every season, everything that was going on, I did a new window painting. And when you're doing window painting, you're building in a backwards layer. So everything that you want to see the strongest you start off with, it's like the opposite of what I'm doing now. You do all the heavy, let's say darks, the whites, all of that, and then you build backwards into the inside of the window. It's how you can actually see from outside the highlights that you want. So it totally works backwards from this painting. It works backwards from what I know of tattooing. It was quite confusing, but I got the hang of it after a while, and it was really fun to do. And I just came into my mind. I totally forgot I even did it because it was so long ago, and I feel like I'm getting old and my brain's going. How rude, Jude! There you go, Mr. Squidworx let you know. This is Biff Naked. For those who don't know, she's Canadian. She's awesome. She also follows me and I follow her on Instagram and on, well, back in the day on Twitter when I was on there. She has an adorable little puppy that has an account on Instagram. And Biff is just like the sweetest person ever. An ex of mine actually used to be her sound guy for back in the day in the tours. Red Fireface, that's so cool that Biff's playing at your uncle's pub in BC. That's so amazing. She's so incredible. She's also a cancer survivor, for those that don't know. She's just such a freaking hardcore kick-ass woman. I love her. So great to have so many amazing Canadians. I feel like in Canada we really sometimes are underrated. And so many awesome talents and artists come from here. Really glad you guys are enjoying the tunes. I literally spent the entire afternoon trying to get music from my computer to my phone through Bluetooth. It's a whole thing because apparently there was no other way through iTunes to get it in there, and I had it's a whole thing. Anyway, you don't need to hear about the boring thing, but it literally was to just at 4:29 where I finished getting everything onto my phone into the playlist and everything the way I wanted it. And I do this for you guys, and I try to get new songs every show that lasts anywhere between 2 hours to 2.5 hours, as I've been doing. So I really, really hope you guys like it. Yeah, as Jude was saying, so Geddy Lee from Rush went to our high school. My guitar teacher was Geddy Lee's guitar teacher. Obviously not the same time, we have a little bit of an age difference, but my guitar teacher used to always go on and on about how, yes, I taught Geddy Lee everything he knows. And I'm not the greatest guitar player anymore. I used to be pretty good in high school, but I forgot most of it now. No, it wasn't Mr. Pepperall. Was it Pep? It was something. It was very close to that. There was two guitar teachers, or one was a music teacher, the other one was a guitar teacher. I can't remember exactly his name. Oh my god, that's terrible. Again, like, clearly, kids, don't smoke weed your entire life. You'll, like, your brain goes mush. I mean, I quit over 4 years ago, but, like, a lot of my memory from high school and things like that, it's not there. It's not good. Maybe it was Mr. Weissmiller. That's starting to sound more familiar. I honestly, I could probably go look at my guitar music sheets from back then and maybe find something that says it on there. I can't believe how many of you guys are in the chat and joining in. This is so incredible. Like, Jeebus. Yeah, Jude, there was a Mr. Peppa as well. But how about, for those who just tuning in and have not seen my 26 other sets of Matryoshka nesting dolls, how about you guys have a little look at those, alright? While we take a quick little break.
Mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana.
Hello again. Alrighty. So back to where we were. Oh, in the chat I see my dad is saying hello. Hi, Dad. Thanks for joining. All right. Does anybody else remember in the 80s how freaking huge this song was? Or is it just me and my sisters? Because this was always played in our like crazy basement that had like a party room and a wet bar and pot lights and an infinity mirror, and it was like so crazy. It's this really insane 70s pimped out house. And yeah, my parents or my uncle used to have parties all the time, and this was a song that I just totally remember being played all the time. Oh dear, Tenebrae. Leveling it was used in the Listerine commercial. I think I remember that too. Oh boy. Okay. Since we are going to go on till 7 o'clock, I'm gonna go work on a little bit of the detail in his coat. There's gonna be a pattern on there. Try and show you guys if you can see it. So it's a very, very detailed, intricate little pattern going on in his coat. And I want to try and get that with sort of the gold, like a muted gold metallic paint. Oh, and I just want to say a big, huge thank you to Joey for the tip. I just saw you sent a tip. If you, just to remind people, if you go directly through PayPal, it doesn't show up on the screen because the overlay that I use goes through directly through the link on my my Twitch page when you click about, and then you click on the button that says tips. So if you did send it through that, let me know, because I need to figure out if there's a glitch or if that's just what's going on with that there. But Joey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Love you. All right, let's get this muted gold. This is like ancient. I've had it forever. Liquitex is also a pretty good brand of acrylics. And they, I mean, I don't know, I'm assuming they still have it. Like I said, this is really, really old. A lot of my paints I've had forever. Like all of these ones that I have, I've had for probably 25, maybe more years. And as long as they didn't dry out, I still use them. And as I mentioned before, as you can see, a tiny little dollop is all you need when you're using acrylics. They dry really, really fast. You don't want to waste because everything costs money and everything's becoming more expensive these days, and that sucks. Jude, to answer your question, how about I'll put it in the chat for those who don't know. This is how you can send a tip that's not expected but super, super appreciated because you're all awesome and you have butts that won't quit. There you go. Look in the chat. Shows you there. You can go to paypal.me/Rashelle Squidworx, or you can just go to the Twitch channel that you're watching right now. Click on the About button and then click directly on that tip button. The tip button will take you to the customized page that I made for you guys. That you can just do with it a few clicks, send through your PayPal account. Alright, let's get this intricate design going. I'm going to water down my metallic gold paint here. Get really nice and thin. And actually, I want to use even a thinner brush because it's such tiny, tiny details. So let's find the one with a tiny, tiny, just a little tip. That one over here is pretty, pretty thin. And for those who just tuning in, here are some of the ones that we worked on from Yellow Beer 1982 movie from previous weeks. And this is what we're working on right now. Alright, we're going to get some gold accents and highlights. Before we get to the pattern, there's sort of like a ribbing that goes on the edges of his coat, his buttons. I'm mixing two styles of coats that he's wearing. And once the light hits this, I don't know if you can quite catch it here. Oh, there you go. It's gold. It's gold, Jerry, gold. And it's looking pretty cool. I always love using metallic or iridescent paints. It really just adds so much more. And you can kind of see some of it actually in the background. I used a copper on the back there. A little shiny. And don't forget, guys, if you don't have really much to say in particular in the chat, but you just want to help out and keep the chat going, every little bit of interaction in the chat helps with my stats. So if you go to that bar that says on the bottom of your chat, send a message, you click on the little face there, it'll pop up a whole bunch of emotes, and you can click on any of the ones that are unlocked and able to use, and just fill up the channel with them. Like, that's totally fine. It's totally fun. As Lainey just did one of my favorite ones, the fish heads. Oh, Jude, thank you so much for your donation. Mwah, I love you so much. Thank you. And if you haven't seen before, I'll just show you the Calculon mug. You can get that at squidworx.com/shop. You can also get the David from the Lost Boys. I'm just having a little cider in there. Cheers, guys. got to wet my whistle every now and then. All the talking. Alrighty. Whew, so, this is going to be kind of a tricky. I'm going to have to do this sort of print on here. I'm going to do a slightly simplified version of it, but it will still be quite a lot of detail. But actually, here's the thing, the process of an artist. Sometimes we have an idea and we start doing it and we go, oh wait, no, that's not exactly how I want it. And when I mean that, I mean, don't let the gold to be as straight up gold. So I'm going to add a little bit of buff titanium, and it's going to mute it a little bit and make it a little bit lighter. And I think I'm going to like that a little bit more. It will look a little truer to the pattern on the fabric in the image I'm using. There we go, Red Fire Fairy. You're also using my favorite, which is, of course, the squid emote. I absolutely love that one. I use it all the time in all my other friends' chats. I'm glad you guys are figuring out the emotes. They're lots of fun. Know the name of the type of pattern that you see on like antique wallpapers that looks sort of like it's supposed to be like a flower or something? I don't know if you can see it. Does anybody know what the name of that is? I gotta look it up. If you know what it is, it's kind of like filigree, dude. You're kind of right, but I think there's a specific name to that pattern. Kind of curious to know what it is. Like I said, I gotta look that up. That's kind of what I'm trying to go for. Or it is exactly what I'm trying to go for. But in this sort of makeshift version of it, because it's as I mentioned earlier, the photos are such terrible quality that I can't really see the full details of what's going on there. Brocade! Maybe it is brocade. Red Firefly, I think you're right. I think it might be brocade. I gotta check out the Googletron for that. But that sounds very familiar. Oh, right! Red Fire Fade, you are in costumes, of course you would know. That's you should have been the person I went to and asked right away. So, yes, it's the fabric. That's what I meant. Brocade, thank you very much. You're so smart. Well, and since you're in costumes, I hope I'm doing justice to this one. Yes, the design, not specifically fabric, but so you're saying it might be damask, okay? I'm gonna just for my own shits and giggles look it up because I'm very curious to know for the technicality of all of this. And I also love it as like a wallpaper. It's just so pretty. Little Aerosmith. This is for my hubby. Oh, we've got an anonymous. I can talk. We have an anonymous donation. Whoever sent that, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. we've got also a tip from Step, and we've got a tip from Darcy. Thank you so much. And one from Martha. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys all so much. Wow, this is like the best celebration for like reaching affiliate status. Like, you guys are great. I can actually like buy more supplies and pay for the cameras and all of the things that I had to buy. Including I had to get like a super old used Mac computer because I needed more than just my laptop. I'm using, if you could only see my setup, I've got like an iPad, a phone, a computer. I used to have my other laptop as well, and I've got another camera and a ring light and a microphone and a filter and more lighting. So you can imagine, add that all up, how much it costs, and you guys are helping pay for it. So thank you so much. Oh, you guys are great. Last of the 195ers. You say, my parents ran a Chinese restaurant for 30 plus years. I remember them referring to it when they were going over the wallpaper decor with a Toronto designer. So Damask is what you're saying that it is? Because that's, I want confirmation here. I mean, I do trust, obviously, Red Fire Faye being a costume designer. I just see that we have two different names it could potentially be. And I'm doing a terrible, terrible job right now of making it look anything like that, unfortunately. But that's what the basic painting is for, and that's when I start to do layers and I do highlights and all of that, and then it starts to look more like what it's supposed to as I move along. As you have witnessed with where at the beginning of the show, Peter Cook, the actor who is Lord Lamburn in Yellowbeard, the 1982 movie. This is the nesting doll set that I am painting. It started off super, super, super basic. This is how they start off, just a pencil drawing, and then we get really, really basic layers going, and then we build, 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 and then they end up being detailed like that, and getting there like this. Thanks for the clarification, Red Fire Fair. It is damask print, but the fabric is called brocade. Thank you. That is fantastic. And we have 20 minutes still left. I am going a half an hour over time, which I have for all the shows except for Sunday. It's just sometimes, you know, time flies when you're having fun, and I hope you guys are having fun. So, oh gosh, if anybody's ever seen the music video for this Adam Ant song, Goody Two Shoes, it's so ridiculous. And it's kind of funny because as I'm painting this, it's kind of the outfit that Adam Ant wears. So when you're doing clothing, you have to remember if there's a pattern on there, the pattern has to follow the creases. Fabric obviously folds, it creases, and if you just decide to do a flat print along it, it won't look real. So you have to keep in mind that every time there's a crease, as you can see over here, the pattern's going to break, and then you have to sort of picture where the fold in and where it would come back. So right now, all I'm doing is a very broken kind of speckle pattern because there's so many creases in there. So I wanted to give it an illusion that there's layers, but there's a pattern going on. And I will make more of a pattern afterward when I do highlights on there. Which you can kind of see here. It's giving an illusion that there's something over top, that there's a pattern going on. And you gotta be careful too, when you have shadows, you don't want to put your iridescent or metallic paints over top of the shadows, because the shadows should be covering that.
Something inside. You're making the sergeant. I see. In Sanford, Gloucestershire. That's in the country. Yes. Isn't there a sergeant position here in London? No. Can I remain?
So his vest.
No. Do I have any
It's a
choice?
little bit of a. Actually, this almost exactly this color, which is would be terra rossa or terre rouge. It's kind of like a brownish, reddish purple kind of color. Not quite a maroon. Ah, what a maroon. If anybody remembers in Bugs Bunny that being used as an insult, apparently. I guess that would be like an insult from like the 30s or 40s. Calling someone a maroon. I guess it's kind of like calling them a moron. But colorful. Cheers again. So if you guys have been enjoying the tunes, I have been thinking of perhaps maybe in my Instagram / Facebook releasing a playlist. Therefore, if you want to get a list of the songs that I've been playing, you can go to Instagram or Facebook at Squidworx Media, and I think I'll just be posting the list there. I might actually also put them in the YouTube channel, maybe in somewhere in the description. And that way, if you heard a track you really, really like, and you're not sure what it is, just it'll be in the order, and you can go and download it or whatnot. Keep in mind, because if I'm going to go list them by order, and sometimes I think previously my playlists were in shuffle other than this one, I would need to go through each recording and then mark down the order. But if you like that idea, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do that for you guys. Mr. Squidworx reminds me of my Gino days. Oh boy. See, this reminds me more of Raver days. Alright, that's more like what his vest color is supposed to be. There we go. That makes me happy. And just for those... Oh, I'm glad, Step, you're adding to the vote. Awesome. Oh, looks like we still got lots of people viewing here. You guys are so awesome. I feel like there's a couple people like lurks, which sounds like a lurker to me. I want to know who you are. And Caxipsis is KAXIPS06. I can't say that. I don't know who you guys are. Please say something in the chat. And if you're someone I don't know and you just dropped into the channel, that's amazing. Welcome and thank you for joining in. Alrighty. Okay, so give you guys a little bit of links here. Another little link here. Another little link here. And please follow the Instagram, follow the Facebook, subscribe to YouTube, and I'll be able to send you guys the playlists there as well. And then you guys obviously get updates and stuff too. So, alright, where are we with Lord Lamburn? What am I going to work on next? Actually, I think I need to go back to his hair. Because his hair has all the highlights going on, but I need more lowlights. Because there's actually a lot of darkness, like, depending on which image I'm looking at. On the old picture over here, it's like, it's very true to what I've got going on. But if you actually look here, it's pretty dark. And I've seen the movie, obviously, but there needs to be a little bit more low lights going on. Thanks, Mr. Squidworx. I appreciate you agreeing with that it needs more low lights. What a joker. Oh, we have a visitor, guys. This is Ripley. Up. Guys, say hi to Ripley. Say hi to Ripley. She's trying to steal the show. Oh, baby girl. Oh, hugs. Oh, hugs. Oh, kisses and hugs. Thank you. Thank you. I know. She's actually coming to me because it's past her dinner time. And I feel bad, but Thursdays are hard that way. But she's like, can I get some love instead of dinner for now? And she's, oh my gosh. You can see her little snoot over here. She's leaning into me. Oh, this is the best distraction. Oh, puppy girl. Alright, puppy girl. Oh, she's the goodest girl, guys. Oh, she came back. Okay, puppy girl. Oh man, she made me lose my paintbrush. Where did it go? There it is. Alright, okay. What a distraction. The best kind. I mean, so far we've always had some kind of guest star on each one of the shows. This time it's Ripley. Before it's been Katya or it's been Danny Glover. Those are my cats. And unfortunately, no, you will never be seeing my parrot because she's loud as fuck. And you guys, nobody needs to be exposed to that. But if you want, you can always go to Instagram at Blanche Featherow and you can follow her Instagram and you can see videos and pictures of her there. And you can also go to at 3_MCs_and_1_DJ, and that's for the cats and the dog. And sometimes they make a guest appearance of my two rats, Radley Portman and Brie Larson, on the 3MCs and 1DJ. And it sounds like maybe someone's at the door, as you can hear with Ripley barking. Sorry for the barking, but that's what happens when you have pets. Ripley! Sounds like maybe the hubby's home and that's why she's barking. Yep. She'll probably come running in here and telling me that Daddy's home. Because she gets like really excited and she has to tell me. Alright, so we're getting some low lights going on in here. Just giving a little bit more shadows and depth to the curls. And my playlist is out. There we go. Sorry about that. Replaying one of the songs that was quiet earlier. Because I had a couple of songs I realized were not playing, sadly. There was some kind of glitch. I'll have to get them back into the next playlist because they're too good to not have playing. Alright, getting a little bit darker on the curls. I think he's really coming along. Get a little extra crow's feet in there. Darker shadows. Right around his eyes. Oh, Mache Valera, Martha, thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it. Mwah. Go eat. Enjoy your food. And thank you. Alright, well, it looks like we're coming to the 2.5 hour mark where I'm going to have to sign out and get myself some dinner and my puppy and my kitty cats and everybody, and you know, have a little relaxing beverage and call it a freaking night. Watch some stories and so on. That's the evening that I usually like to enjoy. I don't know about you guys, how you guys like to wind down in your evenings, but that's for me. Alright, clean your brushes. Never leave them sitting in the water. You will ruin the tips. And there's the tip. And thank you guys all for the tips today. Thank you guys so much for the donations. I am so grateful. We have hit affiliate status today. Means by next one you guys can subscribe, get all kinds of perks. And Treasure Bay, Joey, you have a great night too. Love you so much, and thank you so much for joining in. I know sometimes it's hard for everyone to fit this into their schedule, but I appreciate it, even 5 minutes. So thank you everyone doing the hand heart thingy. And last of the non-95ers, bon appetit, enjoy your dinner. Thank you for joining. Elaine, everyone. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Don't forget, if you have the means to send a little tip, please in the chat. There's some instructions on how to do it. Go to my page, and you guys can click on the About. You can click on the under About. You can click on the tip button. The tip button sends you to the customized page that I made for you. That you can send $1, $5, $3, $10, whatever works for you, and it's so appreciated. And it keeps this channel going and pays for everything that this costs. And I Like, I know I keep saying it, but it's the truth. I'm so appreciative, you guys. Keep joining in every Thursday from 4:30 to 6:30, like today, sometimes 7 o'clock, running 2.5 hours of painting, fun facts, just chats, playlist that's eclectic to the max. And you know, this is about the art. This is about, you know, supporting your local, or maybe not so local. I had someone from Belgium tuning in today. Thank you, Geert. And I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm so happy that well, not only in less than 4 weeks, basically about 4 weeks, I've reached affiliate status, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you again. And please, if you haven't already followed the channel, go follow the channel. How about follow each other? You guys can follow each other. Maybe you never know what someone's up to, and if they start a channel, if they're doing something else, and you can find out about that in the page. I can see that there's still so many of you guys in the channel. This has been an awesome night. I'm really happy to have you guys all here in my studio with me in my channel. And tune in next Thursday from 4:30 onwards, possibly till 6:30, 7, I don't know. We'll see. But if you guys are all hanging around, I'll go on longer, right? So have a wonderful night. Enjoy your dinners if you haven't had that already. Your stories on the tube and so on. And we will see you guys soon. Mwah! Love you guys.